This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by the Parker Group.
Well, whether it's answering all of your real estate questions or it's just helping out members in our community, the Parker Group is always there for us in some way or another. Rachel and Dustin Parker joining us on the CoastLife couch again. Welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming
having
in.
you guys.
We know that warmer weather is coming up, and a lot of people think, is now a good time to put my house on the market? Is now a good time to buy? So I guess what's the deal? What's the answer here? Is weather dependent, time of year dependent?
It's just like everything else. It really depends on your personal situation. And this is something that we get asked all the time.
Yeah, and it's hard to time the market, whether it's the stock market or the real estate market. And the pros and cons of preparing to sell right now are interest rates are still a little bit high, but they are trending down overall, and we think they're going to continue to trend down throughout the year as well. But also, there's not as much competition for you if you're competing against other homes for sale right now.
Okay.
And so we do think that inventory is going to rise throughout the year. And so those buyers that need to make a move right now, it might be a good idea to kind of get a jump start on that market before it becomes flooded with more inventory.
That makes sense. And I was telling you guys too that so my parents, for example, are selling and they don't know where they really want to end up yet. They're trying to find that forever home, but of course houses are expensive, so they are looking at renting for now temporarily. Is that something, if someone's interested, you can answer those questions, help them rent?
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually have a property management division as well, and so we're really well equipped to help people make that decision, because also depending on life circumstances, for some people it might make more sense to rent until you do find that permanent property, or maybe you're not sure what your professional situation is going to be and you might be moving. So absolutely we can help with either side.
Yeah,
Good
you
to
even
know.
mentioned renting to buying. Maybe you're renting a place and you're like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Can you end up buying that? How does that work?
That's a very interesting process, but yeah, it does happen all the time.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. We see that quite frequently, and oftentimes if it's an individual landlord that maybe they just have one rental property, we see tenants that are in there for 10 or 15 years renting, and at some point they're like, hey, maybe I just want to buy this place.
I don't want to move. Yeah.
We can help facilitate those terms for them too, to make it pretty simple. But yeah, it's very common in this market for sure.
And I'm curious, why spring? Because you hear it all the time, and I've heard it just, like I said, with family members buying houses. They're like, well, we're going to wait till the spring. Why is that normally the case?
I think part of it is seasonally, like during the holidays, a lot of people tend to stay put because you've got a lot going on. You kind of want to hunker down and just be where you are. And then spring just tends to be like, it's nicer out. A lot of people think that their photos are going to be nicer in the spring or things like that. And so some people, we actually had clients just the other day we were chatting with, and they're getting ready to build their next home, but they're afraid that that home won't be ready until the fall, and they want to get photos taken when the pool's open and their gardens are in full bloom. And so we can work with people and say, well, why don't we go ahead and take those exterior photos at the peak of, July or summer, spring, whatever it's going to look the best, and then just save that so that buyers can get the imagination of what it will look like when it's actually on the market.
Okay.
So there are a lot of factors to consider, but like Dustin said earlier, there are so many people that are waiting right now that we know that when they all enter the market, there are pros and cons to that too. There'll be more inventory, but house prices probably aren't going to go back down.
Okay, I would say with it being March 1st, then maybe, and let me know if you agree or not, but maybe call Parker Group now, because you want to get ahead of that, because spring sounds like it's going to be a busy time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny, we saw Barbara Corcoran speaking the other day, and she said, someone asked her, when's the best time to buy real estate? And she said, as soon as you can. And,
okay.
I think that's really good advice, because historically, real estate is always going to appreciate, as long as you're not planning to move in the next 2 to 3, 4 years, market fluctuates, but ultimately it's going to be a good investment.
Good to know.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
And I guess for people maybe who just, maybe this is their first time tuning into CoastLife and their first time meeting you guys, just sort of a generic sense, what are some of the services that you offer and what people can get out of going with you guys as a real estate group?
Yeah, we really kind of lead with marketing. We feel like we're a marketing first company, and so we have a really robust marketing department. We have content creators, videographers, photographers, and a really great team to make sure that as you're listing your home, it's going to be presented in the best light. And we love our partnership with you all here too, because we can actually put their homes on TV, which is something unique too, I think, to get additional exposure as well.
Yeah. If you guys haven't caught on yet, our happy place of the week is by the Parker Group. So every week we're showing you a home for sale if you're looking. So don't forget, CoastLife, we're helping you find your happy place too. Well, along with Parker Group, of course, the experts.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here so much. We appreciate it always. Don't forget to look for Happy Place. We have those on our website as well if you need a little refresher of what's on the market right now. But you can do that while we go to a commercial break.
That's right. A little bit more CoastLife that's coming up when we get back.
You'll find 32123 Jimtown Road, nestled just off the beaten path of Lewis, Delaware. This remarkable, fully furnished property offers a blend of coastal charm and modern convenience. With no HOA, this unique property features 2 distinct and recently renovated living spaces. with 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, including a beautiful chef's kitchen. Adjacent to the main house is a separate 2-story in-law suite and an incredible outdoor space perfect for entertaining. There's plenty of space for guests and or potential renters. Happy Place of the Week is sponsored by the Parker Group.